Hello everyone and welcome to the first in our global series of remote working webinars. So just to kick things off, our focus today is really around supporting and helping you in how you can remain connected, secure and invested during this unprecedented time. So we appreciate that this session has been pretty late notice and it's not usually something that we would record or kind of share digitally. It's normally an event that we would like to kind of run face-to-face and in person. Obviously, given everything that's going on at the moment, that's not something that we've been able to do. And we've been inundated with requests from our clients just for support and advice on how to get their users not only set up for remote working, but also adopting the technology that they're heavily investing in at the moment. So the purpose of today's session is not a technical pitch, and it will remain very high level throughout. We're just here to offer, again, like I've said before, advice on how we're supporting our clients to get remote working ready and all the different free trials that are available to you from Cisco. So just to kind of give you an overview of who your hosts are going to be today, we've got Sean McQuade, who is our US Head of Collaboration, Fillmore, who is our US Head of Networking and Security, and Mark Robson, who is our Training and Adoption Consultant. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Sean, who is going to run through how to stay connected during this time.
Thanks, Laura. Hey guys, I'm Sean. So I look after the collaboration practice for Natilik in the US. So I just wanted to take a few minutes to run through some of the things that you can start using today to enable your users for remote working. So I think we can all agree that the current situation is a bit crazy. We're seeing the importance of staying connected more than ever, and as a business and for employees, we need solutions right now that we can deploy quickly and easily and that are intuitive for end users to use, because in terms of training users right now, doing classes, that kind of stuff is obviously going to be difficult. So one thing I just wanted to note of what Laura was saying, this is not going to be a deep dive technical session. I can go into a lot of that later on or one-to-one if you guys need anything, but I think it's also not really, this is not a marketing campaign. We're here to help existing customers, new customers to get through these times. I think we're all agreed we're kind of in this together. So this is not intended to be a pitch or a technical deep dive, but if you need anything on a deeper low level, then just let me know. So to that end, what you want your solution to be, there's a few different things. You want to be mobile first, and that doesn't necessarily mean on a mobile phone. That means just supporting people being mobile, working from wherever they are. Today they're at home, tomorrow they may need to be somewhere else, and you want the experience to be as if they're in the meeting, as if they're there, no matter where they're working from. So to that end, you also want it to be a consistent user experience. You want it to be consistent across your whole business. So it not only helps with the adoption and the rollout, but support and training as well. If you can send somebody out a one-pager document to say, this is how we use it, or on an LMS portal. So Mark will talk a bit more about that later. And then just to remember, it's an overall solution. So meetings, messages, and calling, they go together. Nobody wants to just be sitting and typing IMs all day. And sometimes it's easier to pick up the phone. And then if you're in an IM or you're in a call with somebody, you say, all right, let's escalate it to a video conference. Let's pull in somebody else. And with the technology we're going to discuss today, it's very simple to do all of that. So if we jump into video specifically, so I think we can agree that face-to-face collaboration now, it's hugely important, especially what we're going through right now. I think it's fair to say that the video is critical right now, just in maintaining business continuity, and it goes back to what I said about feeling as if you're actually there in the meeting. It does help to drive business continuity, but from a personal point of view, everybody wants to feel like they're still part of the team. They want to still feel that they have the ability to connect to their teammates, to their team, and to customers as well. You can reach out to a customer and say, all right, let's jump on a WebEx, let's have a video call. And what we're actually hearing is a lot of stories of people who have never met before, and maybe they've just spoken on the phone a lot, who are now connecting with video. We had a customer was telling us a story of they've met 4 or 5 different vendors that they just spoke to on the phone. Now they have this better relationship because they're seeing each other on video all the time. And it's so easy to just spin up a WebEx, say, hey, join my room, let me share my screen, have a look at this file, and keep your business running smoothly and keep your staff engaged and not feeling isolated. So what can we do to enable this right now? So you might be thinking, I don't have WebEx, I need something right now for my employees, for my customers. We want to stay connected, we want to use video meetings, conferencing. Well, I mean, right now you can go to webex.com and get a free account. That's it. You don't need anything from us to do that. You get the full WebEx experience right now. Cisco have always had a free WebEx product, but it was limited to the time of the meetings, to the amount of participants you could have in there. But they've gotten rid of that. For the foreseeable future, the meetings are completely free. You can have a meeting for as long as you want with up to 100 participants actually. So they've upped it from 50 to 100. You can go get that today at webex.com. You can also dial in from your phone. You can dial in from your device, whatever you want to do. So if you need more than that, let me know, because we also have a lot of options for new and existing customers. For new customers, you can get a free trial of up to 1,000 participants. So if you have bigger meetings where you're going to need more than 100 participants, then we can easily spin up a 90-day trial of WebEx, get all your users on it. You can host meetings up to 1,000 participants, which for most commercial clients, that will be enough for the starting the wrap up period, I guess. But there are options to go beyond that. What if you already have WebEx today? Then we can massively expand your license capacity. If you're on a flex agreement, enterprise agreement, or named user, we can expand you by up to 20% right away. And if you're on the active user model, there are going to be usage waiver terms where essentially your usage in these months will not count towards any true forward. So if you need any more detail on that, let me know. So just on messaging, obviously WebEx Teams is a client for messaging from Cisco, and it's completely free with every WebEx product. So this isn't a separate offering. This is something that with any WebEx meetings, calling, events, wherever, you will get WebEx Teams with it. It's something you can optionally enable and disable. We suggest enabling it and rolling it out to everyone just to give them that uniform experience within a single app. You can meet within the app, call within the app, escalate to meetings, join meetings. It really gives them a real uniform experience, because I have experience in the organization and maybe using Microsoft or Slack or Google Hangouts, but when you have one person using one and one person using another, and you have this kind of fragmented architecture, it all becomes a bit complex, especially to support. And if you're not in an office where you can walk to an end user's computer and say, all right, this is what's going on, especially from your IT team's point of view, that can be it can be complex and expensive probably to support those. So what WebEx Teams does really well is it can boost productivity around the workflows. Like, as I said, you can all be within the app. You can call each other in the app. You create a space with your team for a specific project, and with one click you can do a video call with everyone. You can collaborate in real time with whiteboards to share files. And let's say that it's not only a Cisco solution. We know that you've got huge Microsoft investment, and we want you to use Cisco for what it's good at, and that's communications. Microsoft is great at their Office applications, their Active Directory, SharePoint, OneDrive. At Natilik we use all this stuff as well, and we know you guys use it. So SharePoint, OneDrive, all this stuff, it integrates directly into WebEx Teams. You can share files directly from it. You can open stuff into your Office applications. You can integrate into Outlook. You collaborate live on files. So everything that you can do within your Microsoft environment, it's compatible with WebEx Teams. And just one thing I want to mention on that, Fillmore is going to talk more about specific security products in a couple of minutes, but in terms of security, WebEx is light years ahead of a lot of the other products right now. We're at a time, I guess, where people are working remotely and you want to keep people connected, but I guess especially when people are working remotely, you want to be wary of things like encryption, data leakage, data loss prevention, and the ability to be able to put hold on messages, make sure credit card numbers aren't being shared, all these kind of things that can all be done within WebEx Teams. And there are associated security products that can link into that Fillmore will speak about. So what about calling? If you have nothing right now, WebEx calling is an option, and again, that's free for 90 days. So this is a completely cloud option. You can connect via the Teams soft client, which I just spoke about, or with the physical Cisco phone. And In fact, there are some offers running right now that if you need some physical phones on loan, that is an option right now. So that's something we can look into for you. You don't need to have any sort of current WebEx subscription to take advantage of this. You don't need to take a meeting subscription trial or anything like that. You can just do a calling trial. So if you have meetings with something else, but you say, I don't have phones or I don't have a soft client right now, we can spin it up fairly quickly for you. And I mean, it means users are not tied to a specific location. They can make and receive calls anywhere. You also get the network-based stuff like auto attendance, hunt groups, that kind of stuff. That's all available. Cisco will also have a global partner network that supports the PSTN element, the back end calling out to the PSTN, and a lot of those are offering free trials as well right now. So, potentially you can get a free trial of calling and full PSTN for 90 days. So that's something we'll have to look at on a case-by-case basis, but it is possible. So yeah, right now if you have nothing and you just want to quickly deploy and enable a remote working solution that includes calling, then WebEx calling might be right for you. But what if you are a call manager, CVCM customer right now, and you got a lot of people working from home, you want to utilize that existing infrastructure. In this case right now, we're looking at Cisco Expressway. So this gets away from the old method of having to bring in phones and install certificates and configure VPNs. Essentially, the Expressway just runs as a VM and it proxies your traffic from the internet into your on-premise call manager, and people will register back to your call manager and continue to work. Again, the licensing for this is completely free on a trial basis for up to 90 days. It's something we can get spun up very quickly. We had a customer come to us recently. They had a global cluster. We got Expressway, got everything spun up in about a day. So it's something we can get done very quickly if you come to us. And then also, so what if you have no phones, you want to roll out Jabber, you've got Expressway maybe set up already, but you're worried about licensing. So where do you get all that additional licensing from? Listen, right now you can over-provision users right away without additional licenses. Call Manager will give you a grace of up to 90 days, or up to 60 days on version 11, up to 90 days on version 12. And so you can go off, you can provision 2,000 Jabber users, go over your license usage, and you'll be good for 60 days. But if you need more than that, or you need it to go longer, we have a lot of options for getting you temporary licenses. Again, on a 90-day trial, on a case-by-case basis, depending on what you need. But if that is a requirement and you have a huge rollout of other devices, soft phones you need, we do have licensing options. And one last thing I just want to mention on the calling is, I'm pretty lucky here that I have a bit of a private space that I can use, but Cisco do also have these headsets which are great, especially if you have a couple of people working from home. They have single ear and dual ear options that you can utilize, and also some noise cancelling headphones are available. And then lastly, just on events, we've had quite a lot of customers come to us, and they're regularly doing huge town hall team meetings, huge events for customers, on a large scale. And right now, obviously, a lot of those aren't possible. Getting people together in large groups is not something that we can do right now. So instead of canceling it, you can move them to virtual events. So with the trial WebEx meetings that I spoke about a bit earlier, you'll also get WebEx events, and that will allow you to run events of up to 1,000 participants. If you need more than that, there also is a WebEx events of up to 3,000 participants, and again, that's free for 3 months on a case-by-case basis. We might look at trying to see if we can get that extended, but as of now, it's a 90-day trial. And with both of those options, you can stream out to your socials, Facebook Live, for example, to reach a wider audience if you need to. There is also, I guess, a combined offering with vBrick, and what vBrick does is it essentially allows you to stream out to this application that allows you to have almost like an on-premise YouTube. You can stream your events out, you can get it on demand, you can have it have all the recordings so people can go in and watch them afterwards. So vBrick and Cisco are partnering to give you up to 3 live events of up to 500 participants, or a single live event of up to 5,000. So yeah, vBrick is actually so if you need any more information on it, just let me know. And That's all I've got right now. So guys, any questions, anything you need on licensing, on how long it's going to take to deploy any of these, any of the features or functionality of any of these products, what it can do for you when working remote, what the difference is between working remote, working in the office, just reach out and let me know. Laura will have the details at the end of how to get in contact with us. So with that, I'll hand over to Fillmore, who's going to take you through lots of the security things you can do to keep your business and workers secure.
Great. Thank you, Sean and Laura. So I want to just thank the attendees for taking time out of your day to join us. It's our goal here really just to inform you of what Cisco is offering to help businesses meet remote access and security challenges that are before you right now. As you can see on the slide, we're going to focus our conversation around 3 areas. Those being Cisco AnyConnect VPN, Duo multi-factor authentication, and Cisco Umbrella to protect your users while they are roaming or off network. So with that, we'll move into the VPN slide. So briefly, what is a VPN, or a virtual private network? It's an encrypted connection over the internet to your private network. The encryption will help ensure that sensitive data is safely transmitted, and it prevents unauthorized people from eavesdropping on the traffic. Cisco AnyConnect will enable your employees to work anywhere on company laptops or personal mobile devices. It will also provide visibility and control that security teams will need to identify who and which devices are accessing the infrastructure. So for existing Cisco AnyConnect customers, whether you already have a VPN license or not, Cisco is offering a free 90-day trial license, and that offer will apply to clients with legacy ASA hardware, firepower hardware, ASA virtual, and virtual firepower threat defense. So, really Cisco has covered all of the bases here. And if you are a customer that has insufficient capacity in your existing network hardware to support the required VPN connections, or for customers that do not have a Cisco firewall, Cisco is offering their ASA Virtual 30, which I believe supports up to 750 VPN connections, and it's heavily discounted. If that's something that may be an option for you, please reach out to myself or Chris Lewis, and we'll help you determine if that's a good fit for you. So Cisco really has tried to cover all of the bases here. And it's just as you can see on this slide, the VPN is easy and quick to deploy. It scales out to support all of your needs, and it will also help ensure that your organization will remain protected from external Wi-Fi networks. In terms of the trial period, it runs through, pardon me, July 1st, 2020, and it is for 90 days from the engagement of the trial. So that will cover the AnyConnect VPN offering. We can move into Duo and multi-factor authentication. So Cisco's MFA, or multi-factor authentication, is known as Duo. As you can see on the slide, it protects against password phishing attempts. It allows you to establish a device and user trust from outside the organization, and it will enable secure access to all apps that remote users would usually have access to in the workplace. So Duo is really bringing a zero trust security solution for customers on a range of use cases to bring strong user and device verification and mutual exchange of security context. So Duo will provide two-factor authentication to protect your applications and data. It enables organizations to verify your user identities and establish a device trust before actually granting the access to the network and applications. So by employing a zero trust model, it does decrease the attack surface and helps reduce and mitigate security risk. So Duo will integrate with ASA, single sign-on, SSL VPN with AnyConnect, and IPsec VPN, along with Cisco Umbrella and WebEx as well. So, Duo really integrates very well across all of Cisco's other products. So it will basically provide your security admins the ability to enforce consistent user and device-based access policy to your network and applications. In terms of the trial, if you are an existing Duo client or you have an active trial in progress, you'll be able to exceed the purchased user limit until July 1st, 2020. For new customers, the trial will allow you to exceed the original 10 user limit. And if you have any questions related to this, please, send me an email and I'll be happy to field those questions. So we're going to move on to Cisco Umbrella and roaming user protection. So as you can see, Cisco Umbrella will block malicious and unwanted domains, IP addresses, and cloud applications. It will extend protection to devices and locations anywhere in the world. And it will use cloud services to safely and control shadow IT and the cost of unauthorized app usage. So Umbrella is it's a secure internet gateway, and it really does provide a first line of defense against threats on the internet wherever your users go. So, with the wide scale adoption of cloud apps and an increase in remote workers, expansion of branch offices, has really kind of rendered the on-premise security model impractical in some instances. So, the convenience and cost savings and the benefit of going direct to internet is really driving a new decentralized approach to networking. But, with this new approach, there are risks and security challenges such as gaps in visibility and coverage, increasing volume and complexity of your security tools, and of course, limited budgets and security resources. So to address some of these challenges, Umbrella will provide a broad, reliable security coverage across all ports and protocols, security protection both on and off network, depending on how you deploy Umbrella. It's very easy and rapid deployment model, and allows you very flexible enforcement policies that can be defined in a myriad of ways, depending on what your business needs and outcomes are. And also, Umbrella is a single dashboard, so it's efficient and easily to manage in a single pane of glass. So, what Umbrella will do is it will protect your users from malicious internet destinations, whether they are on or off your network. And because it's delivered from the cloud, it makes it easy to protect users anywhere in the world. So in terms of the trial, existing customers can exceed their purchase limit until the end of the trial period, which is July 1st. And customers without a current Umbrella license can extend the standard 14-day trial to 90 days from the date of activation. And that's something that, anybody can go ahead and spin up the trial. But if you need to extend it beyond the initial 14 days, we can help you get that done. So that covers the three topics we had on our slide deck. I just wanted to add in something with regard to Cisco AMP for endpoints. So for those of you who don't know what that is, it's a comprehensive endpoint protection. It's protection against the most advanced attacks and really like zero-day threats. It will prevent breaches and block malware really from the point of entry. it rapidly detects and contains, and it remediates advanced threats that sometimes evade your frontline defenses. So some of the benefits of AMP for Endpoints: powerful protection engine. It's using machine learning, exploit prevention, file reputation, antivirus, and a wide array of other attack prevention techniques that will both stop fileless and file-based attacks pretty much in their tracks. One of the nice features and benefits of AMP for Endpoint is the ability to isolate an endpoint, but still maintain controllability of that endpoint. So with the detection of an infected endpoint, a single click will isolate that endpoint from the rest of your network, but still allow you control of the device. So you can reduce the footprint of an attack and really, fast track the remediation with endpoint isolation. Another nice benefit of AMP for Endpoints is its retrospective security. It's continuously analyzing and monitoring file and process activity. It will automatically generate retrospective alerts at the first sign of any malicious behavior. So again, this will quickly allow you to stop a threat, like in their tracks before it can really cause any further damage and propagate laterally throughout your network. The existing AMP for Endpoint customers can exceed their purchase limit by 200% until July 1st, 2020. And if you're a new AMP for Endpoint customer, please send me an email and I will get you details on the offering. This was, I think, just announced, so I don't have it in the slide deck yet, so please forgive me for that. With that, if there are any questions regarding the trial, the duration of the trial, or anything, low-level technical that you'd like to discuss, please don't hesitate to email and reach out. We're here to help. And with that, I will hand off to Mark.
Thanks, Fillmore, and thanks for the information earlier as well, Sean. So one of the areas that we look at from Natilik around getting the most out of the technology, and normally we have some time to be able to actually help our customers to sort of get the investment in their applications. And these unprecedented times, we found that the speed that these changes need to actually be brought in, both from a personal point of view and a business point of view, have caught a lot of people, not necessarily off guard, but it means that we haven't been able to actually follow the normal flow of the change program. So there's lots of technologies out there that customers have actually developed and deployed themselves. There's areas that are still in project that haven't been deployed yet. And one of the areas that we've found is users actually not necessarily knowing everything that they actually have in the technology kit bag that their employers have actually brought to them, whether it be applications and infrastructure that is in the process of being deployed. So delivery of training, both from an online point of view and also from a virtual instructor point of view, we've got a number of different areas that Natilik can actually help with on that side, from developing and deploying content that can actually help those users. And we also deliver content in portals and platforms that are able to actually track and see how users are actually accessing and in working with the content. So, for instance, we now have organizations that at one point they actually had one network. Now they have 300 networks because they have 300 users actually working from home, and they're all going to be operating differently and using different devices. So how can we actually assist to make sure that they're fully aware of the security implications that aren't sort of in the realms of the areas that Fillmore talked about? How do they know how the technology works? For instance, we're using Cisco WebEx meetings as part of our webinar series. And there's a lot of users that don't know that they actually have access to these tools to be able to actually do internal meetings and internal webinars like this to be able to actually help their colleagues. So we develop platforms and develop content to be able to share with users the benefits of the applications, get them to actually understand them, and also then deliver the virtual training courses as well with your trainers to be able to actually understand, get them to understand how the platforms work and to actually develop a very virtual platform that can really like sort of make the classroom a thing of the past. So if you want more information on our technology adoption and the ways that it can actually help you to get your technology adopted out there and get the technology investment worthwhile, let me know through either Laura or just direct to Mark Robson at Natilik. And back to Laura to finish off.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. That was really informative. So as we've kind of alluded to throughout the session, we have a number of trials available on our website at the moment. Most, if not all of these trials have either been extended, be it up to from 30 days to 90 days, or additional users that you can have as part of that trial. And we've also, from our end, just kind of thrown in a whole host of extra additions and features to ensure your remote workers are getting the best experience possible. Also, if you'd like to get in touch with any of our three panelists today, I have stuck their email addresses on screen here, and we will share the slides after so that you can either make note of them quickly now, or we will obviously share the slides so that you can contact them directly from there. But whilst this is all going on, we did get a few questions, so I'm going to move on to the Q&A. So firstly, the first question is for Sean. So someone has asked, how easy is it to transition from a WebEx trial to a full permanent deployment?
Yeah, so that's the beauty of how we deploy these trials. Essentially, you're doing what's called a partner-led trial. So, we spin it up for you. We create the trial. We do some of the configuration for you, which means that at the end of the 90-day trial, if you want to move, if you love WebEx and you're like, hey, we want to keep this around for all our users, then the process is very simple. You get to keep the URL that you get when you set it up. So it would be, your company name .webex.com. You don't have to change any of that. Your users can keep all their messages. They can keep any meetings they've already scheduled. And essentially, we just move you from the trial into a subscription offering under Collab Flex. There are a couple of different flavors around Collab Flex in terms of there's active user, named user, enterprise agreement, and that just depends on the amount of users that you have that you want to enable for WebEx. But that's something we can talk about at the time. But yeah, to answer the question simply, it's very easy to do.
Perfect. Thank you, Sean. So secondly, we've got a question actually for Fillmore. Someone has asked, how quickly can Umbrella be deployed?
So the short answer is very quickly. If you're using just the roaming client piece of Umbrella, it can literally be spun up in really less than an hour. Even if you're doing, say, the on-premise virtual appliance deployment as well, it does turn up very quickly. So if you came to us and said, do we want to get this implemented, we could have you set up, I would say, completely in less than half a day.
Perfect. Thank you, Fillmore. And then another one actually for Mark. What can my organisation do to increase adoption in the early stages of a deployment?
I think the main thing is it's communication and ensuring that users actually understand where all of that information will sit. A lot of the times, users are used to working from home maybe once a week, once a month, when required. But in these unprecedented times, it's not just about the technology side of working from home and being able to actually combine information together in one place. So information about using WebEx and why you need to use WebEx, information about being on video calls like this, for instance, and showing your face. And face is a very easy way to actually show emotion and show sort of different levels, and it could actually mean that you could help your colleagues out just by having a video call with them. So I think the main thing is keeping content in one place, making it easily accessible to all end users, and also potentially suppliers and customers that may be working with you as well, because they need to know how to use some of your systems sometimes. So make sure your colleagues are actually armed with the right information. So when they invite an outside participant to the business, make sure that they know the process that person will need to take, or if there's anything that they need to do. But simply it's communications, and it's meaning that like sort of sending people to the same place all the time that has the same style of content and the ability for people to easily consume, and also, don't forget, ask questions. That's a really important part of adoption, giving people a communications plan between, or communications path, sorry, between the author of the content and also the person that's viewing it.
Perfect. Thank you, Mark. And just one last one for Fillmore. Someone has asked,
Sure.
is AMP antivirus or anti-malware protection, and how well does it integrate with other Cisco solutions?
So AMP is both. It is both antivirus and anti-malware protection. And so whether you're using AMP can be really a standalone deployment, but it does also integrate and very well with all of Cisco's products. So whether you're using it as a standalone piece, or, for example, there's a module for AnyConnect that integrates AMP for endpoints into your AnyConnect VPN security module. So the short answer is it integrates across all of Cisco's products.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone. That was great. So just to kind of finish off today, the message from us really is just keep in touch. Our guys are experts in their fields, and they are happy to answer any questions you have, be it from a low level or a high level perspective of anything that we've covered today, or any additional questions that you've got. We're going to share the slides, and all of their contact details are there if you would like to get in touch. So thank you very much to our panelists for your time today. This has been a really informative session, and we really appreciate you taking your time out of your day. And the same to all of our attendees. We appreciate this is really last notice. But like we said at the start, we've been inundated with requests from our clients to pull something like this together, and we hope that you have found it as informative as we have. So thank you very much, everyone.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.